everyone, MCscarabtrooper here, and today we're going to be talking about the Hasbro toy situation. So, as many of you are aware, Hasbro owns the toy rights to Star Wars, and their main toy kind of collector thing is the Black Series, for those of you who don't know. But if you don't know, I don't know why you'd be watching this. They made my beautiful helmet, beautiful. Great. When they can knock stuff out of the park. Alright, for example, this Saj Ventress mainline figure, one of the best figures they've done. It's great. Great job. But they've had an issue for a bit, and I think I'm going to address the issue. They have a few, I guess, but so we'll start off with the archive line. Now, when the archive line first kicked off, mystery released figures that were harder to get, and kind of scalpers were selling for more and stuff. And the Black Series had not started with photoreal technology, and then moved into it. So it was also a way to give out existing figures with photoreal faces now. Pretty good stuff for the time. But then the problem is, you would expect it to kind of give you updated versions of the figures. So, for example, first archive line came out with Boba Fett. Well, just last year we got an updated Boba Fett. And it doesn't make sense why you wouldn't just make a figure and update it and put it in the archive line. So that way people who are kind of collect everything would be happy, and people who wanted a figure of that character would be happy. But that's not what they do. I mean, it's Hoth Luke here. Alright? This figure was fine when it first came out. In, 2014? But now it just looks dated. They did the photoreal, but they left the scar on. It's hard to tell on my camera. But if you were to look at it, it has the scar from the previous figure. They didn't really update it at all. Kind of sucks, Just like the New Hope Princess Leia here. Very bad figure. Terrible figure. They need to make an updated one. But they won't. Commander Cody. They need a Clone Wars version. Or a Revenge of the Sith version. An updated one on the new body with a removable helmet. But they won't do it. Which brings me on to my next topic, which is, people would say, oh, well, they need the repaints so they can, continue selling new molds, make new molds. You need to make a repaint to me. Yes and no. McFarlane Toys makes new figures pretty much every month. Completely new. No reuse. Okay, I shouldn't say no. They'll do some repaints. Very few, though. And accessories will be the same. For example, I don't know about this grapple hook, but the crowbar used by the Joker. But still, new sculpts. Every month. And it's a smaller toy company than Hasbro. How? If the excuse is you need that, how come they don't? And that also brings me on to the Marvel Legends topic there. Marvel Legends and those DC figures you can always find on shelves. Now, Star Wars figures, never find. If I want to find a specific Marvel Legends figure, such as the Nightcrawler figure from the X-Men wave a few years back, I was able to find it. I always can find whatever Marvel Legends figure I'm looking for. Uh, Same with those DC figures. I can pretty much always find those. Go to the store, find what figure I'm looking for, no problem. Star Wars, on the other hand, you can't. But the reason being, because stores will only get select shipments of a wave. Whereas like the Marvel Legends and those McFarlane toy figures, they always get them. So pretty much if you're a collector, you can actually find that figure you want. Now, part of me thinks maybe has to do with the fact that, you know, this generation's kids kind of prefer superheroes over Star Wars. Now, I know that's a bit of a controversial statement, but at the same time, think about it, all these kids grew up with superheroes, not really Star Wars, and then when they did, you got not stellar films. Which I know some people would say about the prequels, but that's debatable. Because I am a prequel fanboy. I grew up with them. But that gets me on to another topic. The exclusives. Hasbro will always do these exclusives for the past 2-3-ish years, and they're impossible to find. And I found some, but they're pretty much impossible. You go to pre-order it, sold out instantly. You go to store to find it, you're lucky if the store even got the figure. I've never once seen the Clone Wars Obi-Wan from the Target exclusive Clone Wars wave, or Anakin. Not in person at all, once. And, you know, it's pretty bad. I will say Walgreens I do think is good at theirs, but the newest exclusive, the 212, I've not been able to find. So yeah. No, Walgreens. But Walmart is terrible. Anytime I've pre-ordered from them, they end up canceling for whatever reason. I've only ever gotten one Walmart exclusive. I tried to pre-order the rest, and if I added them to my cart and ordered them, they get canceled later on. And then I never see them in stores. But then I see people who will scalp them and sell them for much more, or army building. There's not a problem with army building, which I will get into later. Now, Hasbro can do great new sculpts like this for Echo, right? Great new sculpts for exclusive figures. Even this Obi-Wan, the head sculpt is phenomenal, one of the best, but it's even inaccurate to the actual one. He would have had long hair like Attack of the Clones. So that's weird, but they do little inaccuracies. I mean, even the horns here kind of curve and connect there. They're not the right shape that they should be. But that gets me on to exclusives. Now, when you think of an exclusive, it should probably be a reprint, such as, for example, the Transformers, how they do stuff, it tends to be repaints. A little bit of retooling, but repaints mainly. And it just doesn't make sense to make a completely new figure and then put it into an exclusive thing instead of the main line. Because then you'd have a lot less people complaining about new sculpts. And if they want to reuse sculpts, here's an idea. Make more troopers. You own the Star Wars license, which has clone troopers, and people love clone troopers, and you could literally make it any color, and people will buy it. Not even joking. Say it's from whatever unit, people will buy it. And there you go. That is your reuse of a sculpt. And get this. Instead of making the extra figures in the wave a named character, make it a trooper, and you won't have pig warmers that sit there for 2 to 3 years. strange how they don't think this through, but then with like the Marvel figures, they tend to think it through pretty well. I mean, you obviously have to few of the peg warmers for that too, but a lot less than Star Wars. Um, but yeah, very long rant here. Sorry about that. But it is a problem I have noticed a lot with a lot of Star Wars stuff as of late. And then last year especially, a lot of repacks, and then a lot of exclusives. So many of those exclusives looked so good, but I not found a lot of them. This right here, I was able to get this in the clone pilot. I forgot his name. I think it's Hawk. And yeah, for exclusives. GameStop exclusives are a different subject, because those are pretty much always repaints, which I prefer. I think it makes sense. Again, I went over, I think that's what exclusives should be. I know people complain about those. I don't have a problem with those, actually. Again, I think repaints should be the exclusives and not affect the main line. Not completely new figures, which haven't hit the main line. So for example, if I wanted an Echo in the main line to connect to the Clone Wars boxes, I can't get it. Or, if you're going to do an exclusive with a box, because some people like to keep the boxes, don't make the boxes all connect and then decide to go, hey, we're going to make these exclusives have the same mainline box that have to connect to the mainline boxes. I'm looking at the Clone Wars wave and Bad Batch wave from Walmart. Even the Walgreens Attack of the Clones clone. I guarantee most people didn't even know that that one was the first one. If you're just a basic collector, you know, and you don't keep up with stuff, you wouldn't have known that. So you'd get the Attack of the Clones clone, just the plain phase white one, and then not have been able to find the, you know, blue one from Walgreens. I mean, now they're restocking them, but still. And that's also the weird thing is their inconsistency with, we made this new clone body, but we're going to make the blue clone, the old body, which is a completely separate subject, very big discussion. I personally think the best clone body would definitely be the old one, bigger shoulder pads. Yeah, I kind of like the new arm system and legs. I can't really complain about them. And the helmets. Helmets need to look more accurate to the movies because that's what the Black Series does. It's supposed to be movies. Which also gets me onto like the Bad Batch. All look straight out the show with realistic faces. It's weird. I like those figures. They're some of the best. But they don't fit into the Black Series line because, again, for example, Sonic Ventress, strictly Clone Wars animated show. They did a pretty good job on adapting into a live action look. And it's not that hard to make a clone look live action when you've had them in live action plenty of times. But yeah. So, it's a weird thing there. And again, it almost feels like Marvel gets more love. I know people will be like, well, it's different, you know, different franchises or whatever. They're both Disney. They're both owned by Hasbro. I don't know why they'd be different. It really doesn't make sense. I mean, Marvel Legends is literally the equivalent of the Black Series. And Marvel Legends even does stuff like this for Marvel Legends. The Infinity Gauntlets, Thor's Hammer, you know, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's my little ramble on Star Wars collecting in general, I guess. But yeah, so this will be MCscarabtrooper logging off. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. That really helps with the algorithm and stuff. So, yeah. See you guys.